What's up, everybody? This is The Quad with Chris Young. Number one in your podcast dreams, number one in your hearts. As always, I'm Chris. And evidently, I'm being goofy on a Labor Day over here.
That's great.
We got producer Josh.
The number one podcast that covers 4 topics from Tennessee and parts abroad.
Haley the Bear.
Hi, guys.
And rocking the UCF hat, Ryan from Miami.
Highest points per game in the nation after week 1. I will say I arrived in Dallas this morning. And do you smell that? Do you smell what's in the air?
It smells like someone who's trying to audition for vintage radio guy from like 1985.
Oh, I know what that smell is. It's football. Football week is back. Let's go.
Ryan is celebrating football being back.
Yes,
we just passed the last Sunday of the year without football until February. That's amazing.
Yeah,
amazing.
I know, man. You know it's more amazing? Do you know what the results of the poll are?
Oh yeah, so I love polls, and we do polls all the time here at the Quad with Chris Young.
He was so ready last week. I had to get in this week.
Yep.
In fact, it is something that we love and take pride in. And so, our recent poll, which
so
was
much pride, we look it up before the episode starts.
which was
Yep.
what is the best cut of steak, and with 46.8% of the vote, ribeye was the winner.
Wow. Okay.
Do you want to know the whopping percentage that skirt steak got in this poll?
4.
2.
What 1.8%?
Yeah, so 2 was correct.
Which may be the lowest percentage of any option in the Quad with Chris Young poll history.
I'm sorry. Can you say option again?
Option.
Option. These are good option.
For those of you that don't know, one of the prerequisites for doing a podcast is being able to speak eloquently onto a microphone.
I do also want to update you on our other polls. Buffalo Wild Wings, is it good or meh? 52.7% of the audience said meh. And the most split poll we have ever had in Quad podcast history. Do you want Josh Cleve to start screaming hot take again? With 50% of the vote, everyone said yes. And with another 50% of the vote, everyone said absolutely.
That's great.
I love that. That is
I love it.
fantastic. The most split poll ever.
Sounds like a split. We'll have to throw the whole poll out. Won't be happening. Sorry.
I like some of the comments. Some of the comments were, if you vote, we all win.
It's a
Oh,
wonderful honor to be here on this podcast, but in no way will I be screaming hot take anytime soon.
that's fine. That's fine.
Boo.
Also, it's Buffalo Wild Wings deserves more credit than this, because meh is just like, I don't have an opinion. It's not a polarized question. Meh is like, whatever. I don't eat there enough to
because
really
I guess what we said and why we went with Matt instead of it's bad was it's not bad. It's just like
It's not a top choice for.
like, I mean, that is the correct thing that we put on the poll. It is. Yeah,
they deserve better.
You know what? We deserve better, Josh.
Asian
They
Zing
deserve better from
Zing-
Buffalo Wild Wings.
Asian Zing deserves better than this.
We
This kind of treatment.
You know what? It does. It deserves better from Buffalo Wild Wings.
Mango habanero is hurt right now.
I don't
That's
care
like
who's
very
in
hot.
charge of Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm calling you out because every single person that I talked to about this was on the same page with me. This is going to be like the only time you guys hear me. It's going to sound like I'm just bashing Buffalo Wild Wings. It's not that I don't like Buffalo Wild Wings. It's more that I have this memory in my head of the one that was in my hometown growing up when I first started going somewhere to watch sports, and it was awesome. And every other one that I've been to recently was just not awesome. So Buffalo Wild Wings, we love you. We want better. That's all I'm saying.
Chris Young declares war on Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah, you know, it's like the time that I tripped and fell down and ended up on the news.
Yes,
and they're like,
exactly.
he demands the city needs to do better. I'm like, when did I demand anything? Hold up.
Chris Young, victim of NDOT.
It was probably Chris Young 55554.
Oh God.
Let us reiterate: none of us have none of us have accounts other than our real ones, and we are not messaging.
By the way, if you're listening to this right now and you've ever for one moment been like, maybe that's them, we can all. Well, I can't say that. Sometimes Bear misspell stuff in the group message. We all have good grammar.
I have typos. There's a difference.
Oh, anyway.
You speak good. You speak good.
You speak, yeah, exactly.
Speak well.
Exactly.
Yeah, there.
My fat finger.
Holy crap! Oh no! All right. Anyway, thank you guys as always for tuning into the podcast. We are excited to be hanging out with you guys on an absolutely fantastic Labor Day.
We're laboring while you're not.
Yeah. Well, hopefully everybody's just having a wonderful day off and getting to do what they want. This is what we want to do. We like doing the podcast.
Shout out to all the service industry workers who are definitely going to be laboring.
They will be laboring. Oh, please tip.
Yes.
Please
tip your servers and bartenders.
Please.
Spay and neuter your dogs and cats.
Oh. No,
someone,
Bob Barker. Yeah.
Someone has to.
Also, we will have a guest calling in today. We haven't had a guest in a while. Nate Smith is going to be joining us. We're going to be talking to him about music and then also about the fact that he's never played fantasy football before and he has no idea what he's doing, which I just think is hilarious. Do we want to go movie first?
Sure.
Let's do that. Movies. All right. You guys, the movie was technically a documentary. BS High, rated R. I wonder why it was rated R.
Probably because there was a lot of cursing in it. I would assume that would be the reason why.
Language and adult themes.
Not a foul language, yeah.
It has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
People are blown away by it.
Wow.
I found it to be one of the better sports documentaries I've seen in a long time.
The Bishop Sycamore Centurions find themselves playing a nationally televised football game on ESPN in 2021. However, questions after the game reveal that Bishop Sycamore isn't a real school at all. 7.4 on IMDb. That's an interesting split. Yeah, I mean, pretty much this whole documentary is just how much of a scam artist that guy is, right? I mean, within like the first 5 minutes of him being on camera, he's like, do I look like a con artist? Do I look like a con artist? You look good. He goes, no, but I did like a whole class on like how to carry yourself. And he goes, do it. How do I look? And then immediately goes, oh, I don't know who that guy is. He was involved for like a week or so. And they're like, well, he said he was involved for a long time. Oh yeah, he was involved for like 6 to 8 months at the beginning. I'm like, what the hell? Like
it's like you're just following. You're
oh my god, yeah.
This is the same dude who goes to Kinko's to print off fake checks. So yes, this was a very eye-opening documentary.
How is he not in jail?
I love how he said. It to the extent of I don't like break laws. I just play in the gray area. I was like, yeah, no. You're in the
That's
red
what that is.
Area. Yeah. Like that was like, okay.
So one of you guys fully explain the situation for people who did not watch this. So this is a real life thing that happened.
Did you watch this?
I didn't, but I know a fair amount about it.
It's worth the hour and a half watch, man.
I didn't have really access to HBO in my travels.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Ryan.
I can share my password login with you next time, Josh. So
no, you cannot.
Yeah, no.
Ryan, what's wrong with you?
No.
How dare you say something like that?
I mean, we would never do that here on the
Ryan.
Podcast. We believe everyone should purchase their own login.
Never. Yes.
Everyone should purchase their own login.
We love streaming. So basically, the gist of it in a very, very cookie cutter 30-second glimpse is Bishop Sycamore was a made up high school, if you will, by a man who got these kids, if you will, these players from broken homes to come to this school. Basically built this school off a Ponzi scheme, off insurance fraud and PPP loans. And this school He conned them into basically playing the toughest high school football schedule in the country, including playing IMG Academy on ESPN, which is what exposed the fraud to a much larger audience. He had claimed they had like 12 or 13 D1 players on this team. They did not. They were absolutely shellacked. And, basically it's this documentary goes into the very, very, very fine minutia of how he was able to concoct this ridiculous Ponzi scheme to build this fake school and really mislead these players in this community. And so it's pretty crazy that this team, that he was able to, this coach was able to basically get this team on ESPN in front of millions and millions of people, which only further exposed the lie.
Which also he was able to do it playing IMG Academy, which is what he was basically selling.
That his team was.
Yeah, that his team was going to be this path to the NFL, and basically, he was doing good by getting the ability for these players to be seen on the scale of something like an IMG Academy, where they would basically just have a no.
Your path to stardom.
Your path to being in the movies. IMDb.
Pay us
Academy.
$15,000 and we'll get you in.
No. Also, don't ever fall for anything like that. Nobody gonna charge you up front for something like that.
I was just blown away. Like, just looking at him and him talking, I'm like, how did people not already just see it? Like, you could just, the way that he is speaking just speaks, I'm making up lies and I'm being fake. Or you could just, I could see it in his eyes.
You say that, but a lot of people fall for fast talkers.
Especially kids coming from broken homes that are looking for father figures, families that are hoping that their kids find a way out. That's what he sold them on. He sold them on this vision of, you're going to come here, you're going to go to this academy, you're going to get a better education, you're going to be on a path to the NFL. And all of that was a complete and total lie.
Well, and even at the beginning, before it became Bishop Sycamore, it was through the church that he worked with. And he was having people at the church sign a life insurance policy. And then basically how they were raising money through the church was, hey, if you do life insurance, basically you allot part of your benefits to the church.
Right, because you can drain it early.
Yeah. It's just so scummy and just,
it's bad.
Yeah.
It's real bad.
I just want to know how no one actually, like, before you schedule a team to play, do you not look at the team?
Well, they weren't vetting it because nobody wanted to play IMG Academy because they were so good. And so they basically looked at that like a tune-up game. They wanted to try and stomp this team on ESPN and make all. Which,
by the way, they played 48 hours earlier. They played 2 games in 48 hours. He scheduled a tune-up game before the IMG game on a Friday before the game. Crazy.
Short week for them.
But how did they get other teams on the schedule for them? That's, how did people not look into a school being like, oh, we've never played this school before, let's just randomly play them without seeing if
in one of the clips, the guy literally goes, well, I mean, how much high school eligibility do you really have? What?
He was talking about how there is no rules to, like, I don't see any laws. And yet,
could I go back? And I mean, I know I graduated. Can I go enroll again?
He had players that had played for JUCO. Yeah, they'd already played in college.
He was on a roster online. You could Google this kid, played JUCO, and was back playing in high school.
Huh.
Yeah. I mean, they're like, this is just a microcosm, right, of some of the revelations in this documentary. So, first of all, this guy was an intern for the New York Jets under Bill Belichick and Bill Parcells, which I find very comical that Roy Johnson interned for them. He said his goal was to be an NFL GM.
Yeah.
He would call a grocery store, order 25 rotisserie chickens, intentionally not pick them up, so that way they would be marked down to $2 while the grocery store was closing, so he can then go in and buy those rotisserie chickens for $2 instead of what would be $10.
Insane.
It just
Insane.
blows my mind. I just don't get.
Does he technically fall under the Parcells coaching tree then?
No, we're not doing that.
The Bill Belichick coaching tree for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Anyway,
Crazy.
just a wild documentary. If you guys watched it, hopefully you enjoyed it.
And by the way, at the end, Coach Johnson was like dismissive of like these kids, saying that he destroyed them, he broke their dreams. Like he was just like, no, that's just not true. I helped them in this way. Like it's crazy to me that through all of this, he still at the end could take zero accountability for what had transpired and still believes that his school is going to be this crazy school.
He helped create more problems for them. Like
What are you pointing at?
What are you recording to?
Oh, mother.
Well, at least we could start with Nate Smith.
Hold on, I can fix this because we have the audio on the.
We do. That's true.
This.
We do have the Zoom.
No, we're okay. We're okay. I can fix this because we have the audio on the Zoom, so I can just splice that in and then start it from there.
Okay.
Ah, gosh, dang it!
That's a first for you.
Yeah, it is.
I'm glad I caught it before Nate called in.
Yeah, that would.
You would not have had it.
He would have. Yeah. We're gonna be okay. They're not gonna know. It's fine. We're gonna keep all this in. It's fine.
Right.
It's fine. No, it's okay.
Are
Let me
we
just
leaving this in?
Yeah, I'm
it's
just
on
gonna
video too.
I'm gonna take accountability for this right now. Hello, America. It's me, Josh Cleave.
So, all right, explain what just happened, Josh, for everyone listening to that audio and even the people watching.
We have a routine where we do a clap to start and sync the video with the audio portion, and I usually every 180 episodes worth hit the record button and then start the intro song. And this morning, for whatever reason, I did not hit record. And Chris was just pointing, not talking.
Do you know why I was doing it?
You're trying to get me to understand what was going on, but I was just like, I don't know what you're looking at right now.
I thought maybe you were trying to tell him to look at the time.
100%.
I always check the time based off the recorded time.
Yeah.
And
so for audio purposes, you may hear the audio at the beginning of this podcast sound a little bit different during the movie portion because we'll be pulling that from Zoom. But we should be good from here on out. So I will splice that together and it'll be fine because technology is great and we have redundant ways of doing things. And I am an idiot. And this is just indicative of life. So thank you for being patient with me as we navigate the technology in year 3 of doing this the same way every Monday.
Oh my God.
So there we go. We're going to leave all that in.
Okay.
How many hours, Josh, have you slept in the last couple of days?
I've had fine sleep. It's just travel and distracted and whatever.
We love you, buddy. We love you. We love you. You know what will help? If you scream hot take right now. It'll be forgiven.
No, we're definitely not doing that. So going to the movie for next week. Equalizer 3?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing.
Burn notice?
I guess that means I would have to watch Equalizer 1 and 2.
You haven't seen it? Oh, they're so good. Denzel, Dakota Fanning. Yes.
All right. Do not watch the TV show The Equalizer, Ryan. Episode 3.
You know exactly what I was going to do. Yeah. Damn it. You know me too well now.
Don't do it. Don't do it. All right. Equalizer 3. And
it's already out, right? It's already out?
It's out.
Yes.
It came out on the 1st. So let's go to music.
Music.
I'm going to do kind of a quick rundown. Obviously, Young Love and Saturday Nights is out. Go check that out, guys. Been working on some new merch for that. That's going to be dropping very, very soon. And had an absolutely fantastic weekend in Wisconsin and Indiana. Shout out to everybody that came out to those shows. They were incredible. Also, I have to say, scary moment, but someone right down front, probably about 6 songs into my set in Terre Haute, Indiana, had just kind of a medical thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was very, very hot. Lots of sun, nowhere to really get in the shade, and sometimes that happens. But shout out to that audience. I saw a bunch of people pointing. I stopped the show, and it was a big, pit down front as far as like standing pit. And I was like, hey, if everybody can just back up, we've got kind of a medical situation. We want to make sure somebody gets taken care of. If everybody can just back up. And I've never seen a crowd, right? I mean, I think it was like 7 songs in. It was like I'm Coming Over was getting started.
Mm-hmm.
So, everybody's vibing, big show, and thousands of people just got quiet. Everybody backed up, made way for them to get a cart in to pick this person up. They ended up being okay. The medical personnel, security staff there was great. But just shout out to everybody in the crowd for being cool, making sure somebody else was okay, hitting pause on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, not necessarily like a moment you ever want to happen, but just the way that the crowd responded, I thought was absolutely amazing. And it was not lost on me. It was not lost on the security staff, any of you guys that were in the audience that were there. Just hats off to you for making sure somebody else that showed up to have a good time, who, I don't know if they just got overheated or what, but they were okay. We heard that from security. Shout out to you guys for being that way, because it was awesome.
Yeah, we had a couple of scares this summer as well, and I mean, really, the unsung heroes are the security, the venue security, the EMTs, et cetera. Like, their ability to get into that crowd, get people out immediately is awesome. So, big shout out to them.
Let's take this phone call. This is a perfect segue.
Volume up on it.
Yeah, volume should be up.
Oh, lost him.
Hang on. We're just gonna call him back from this end. But again, thank you everybody for being absolutely amazing.
No speaker. Should be.
Are we sure? Let's see if we got him now.
See, this has happened last time too, didn't it? When I called in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put him on speaker.
Hey, Nate.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
What if he called into the Zoom, Josh?
Smallest little voice I ever heard in my life. I couldn't even hear a person,
Oh, dude. We're just gonna we've got you on speaker. For some reason, we're having an issue with our input.
You're good. You're good.
So we're just gonna do it like this, old school from the phone. Everybody, Nate Smith. So we're talking about music first. So I will give you the floor. Obviously, everybody knows who you are if they follow this podcast, and I'm a huge fan of you, your music, your voice, who you are as a person. But I always kind of defer to anybody that calls in that is a musician. One of my favorite things about being able to have a platform where we talk about sports, movies, music, and sort of everything in between for our hot take portion. I love getting to talk to somebody and just give them the floor about what's going on with their summer, where you've been most recently. And I know the last time you and I spoke, you were up in Canada. I know you've been all over this summer. But, just let you talk about your music and kind of whatever you want to get out there for the people that listen to the podcast.
Absolutely, man. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of you as well, and definitely becoming good friends. And thanks for asking me to be on this. I really appreciate it, bro. But yeah, I guess the best thing to explain is there's probably a lot of people that don't know my music yet still, and I would just kind of talk about sort of how it sort of started. I moved to Nashville in 2008, and I had a record deal on the table from Word Records, a Christian label. And I was like writing songs a bunch, and then eventually somehow the deal fell through. My A&R quit, and kind of left me in a weird position where I was like, now what am I going to do? I've moved to Nashville. I don't really know what I'm going to do. And he ended up offering me a publishing deal. And he said, you have a cut. And I'm like, what's a cut? You know, didn't really know what that was. And he said, well, one of these artists are going to record one of your songs, and I want to sign you to a songwriting deal. I'm like, I barely even know how to write songs, but let's try this, you know? So I signed a publishing deal with Centricity Music and wrote songs for a few years. And then, unfortunately, I had gotten married in Nashville.
Yeah, don't say you unfortunately got married. Don't say it that way.
Got married. That's so good. I was married, happily married, and it didn't work out, unfortunately. How about that? So I moved back to California, and did a bunch of random stuff. I worked at churches as a worship leader. I drove Uber. I drove teeth around for a dental lab. Kind of a crazy situation. And then
hold up.
Yeah.
This is something that I did not know about you.
Teeth?
You drove teeth around.
Yes.
Teeth Urban?
Teeth Urban. It was a very stressful situation, Chris. Like, it was like, you got to get these teeth over to, crowns, like that kind of thing, crowns and different stuff like that. And it was in rush hour of Sacramento, and I'd have to rush to the dentist to get it there on time. It was a crazy job.
Interesting.
I find the more that you were talking about your lead up to Nashville, the more that you remind me of Josh Cleve, who is on the podcast with us. Who do you see that? A lot of things that he's saying mirror
Oh yeah. I feel like we would get along a lot, Nate, for sure.
If he's ADHD as well, then that's probably what we're hearing here.
Yep.
I'm a little scatterbrained.
Okay, so after all of this, continue.
Yep. So then, I'm working at churches, driving Uber, just very random things. I'm also a certified nurse assistant at this point, so I've always got a job working as a CNA. Who honestly, we do the dirty work, so it's like the nurse will give the laxative and we're the one doing the old cleanup, so it's wild times. But I do love people a lot, and that's definitely what got me through it and stuff. But I moved back to Paradise, California, where I went to junior high and high school, and I was helping out my brother at his church there. And I was working at the hospital as well, and then we had an unexpected fire take place, and it pretty much wiped out the whole town. So I got out really luckily at I think 8:30 or 9 in the morning. I had a doctor's appointment in Chico, which is the town right next to Paradise, and I got out of there, and everybody's packing their cars up and stuff. And I'm like, what are they doing? This is crazy. There's always a fire. This is so dramatic, I thought at the time. And then I get down the hill, and then realized, oh my gosh, this is really, really, really bad. My brother's called me. He got out okay and everything, but we all lost everything, I lost my apartment with all my stuff. My brother lost his first house, and it's pretty wild. Yeah. But so long story short, so a buddy of mine sent me a guitar that I knew for my first move to Nashville. And I wrote a song for Paradise, raised a little bit of money, and was just man, I forgot the power of music and what it can do for people and help. So I started writing songs again, and then eventually my friends raised a GoFundMe for me and moved me back to Nashville. And I never thought I would go back, but I went back with a little bit of money and just drove all over America, slept in my car, went camping, just kind of went to random towns. This is during COVID, so it's kind of a crazy time, but eventually made it back to Nashville, and then I got a management deal with Chief and Simon at Core pretty much right away through a friend, and then I signed a publishing deal with Sony maybe 2 months after that, and I completely ran out of money. I had, the day I signed my publishing deal, I had $14 to my name, and that was it.
That's so wild, man. That's so wild.
Yeah.
And then it all led to the latest single.
Yeah, everything's kind of led you to where you are now, and out there touring, and I've seen a bunch of different shows that you've been a part of, whether they were just yours or obviously opening for people on huge huge tours. So
it's been super wild. I got a publishing deal, then got a record deal with Sony, and then we put out our first radio single, and it went number one. Couldn't believe it. And then we've got World on Fire out right now. That's moving along, and man, it's just been amazing seeing like what radio can do for your shows. I mean, it obviously works. You know, it's like I've always been told that like you got to have that element, and everyone's been right because they're singing along to the songs at every show, and the doors that it's opened up. I mean, we got the Thomas Rhett tour this year, and it's been amazing. We're about to wrap that up in Nashville at the Bridgestone for 2 nights. Like I think on the 30th of September, and then we got some more dates with Morgan in November, and we're doing some stuff with Cole as well. And man, we're having a blast.
Love that, dude. Love that. So this is kind of funny. I'm glad sort of that you didn't come in studio today, and I'm also then like sort of sad because it's just been like the comedy of errors. We've been doing this for like 3 years, and we have everything down to a science. Like the connection from the phone that we normally use when people just call in just did not work. So I'm holding you up to an SM7 microphone right now. Everybody can hear you on speaker that's in the room, but Ryan obviously cannot hear you because he is via Zoom. So he's going to ask me a question now. I'm just going to relay it to you.
Yeah. So the question I have is, can you tell me how Blink-182, Foo Fighters, and Goo Goo Dolls have inspired your music?
Okay. His question is, can you tell me how Blink-182, Foo Fighters, and Goo Goo Dolls have inspired your music?
Man, gosh, dude. So, I mean, when I first started playing guitar and singing, it was to Blink songs because it was pretty easy to sing. I guess that would be the best place to start. So that was the whole thing. I was like, I was loving to sing, but I didn't really know how to play guitar very well. So Blink is what put it together where I could sing and play at the same time. And their pop sensibility and their melodies definitely still influence my writing. Goo Goo Dolls, the epicness, the emotion, all that stuff. You think of Iris, you know, like that's definitely, I can't tell you how many times I've been in the studio. I'm like, we're getting to the solo part. I'm like, give me some of that Iris right there on the, nice slide Iris. You know, I reference that song in every song I write. I feel like, what's my problem? Foo Fighters, I love rock so much, and Nirvana. Actually, I was in Seattle this weekend, and I went to Kurt Cobain's house. Did the whole thing. Like, somebody actually lives there, so it's kind of weird. You feel like you're trespassing, but I went onto the property a little bit and took some pictures.
I mean, you got to know when you buy somebody's house that's that infamous.
They know.
You know.
Like, can you imagine having people outside your house all day, pictures? Ugh, be awful.
He said that he got his first cut back before he moved back to California. What was that?
Yeah, what was your first cut? That's a good question.
First cut was a young Christian artist named Robert Pierre. I can't remember what the song was called, but he cut it, and that was kind of like my first intro into like, well, what's a cut and stuff. So it got me my publishing deal, and I think throughout my deal, I got a few more cuts. I didn't have any radio singles, and like I said, I can't believe they put me in the room with people to write songs. Like I shouldn't have been responsible for that at all.
Nate, this is Josh Gleave. Hey, so you're from Northern California. Are you a Sacramento Kings fan?
I do like the Kings. My thing with sports. Here's my whole thing with sports. Let me just be real with you. So, like,
this is a good segue, by the way, because
great segue.
I will say one thing. We normally do a "What are you listening to" segment for music. We are just gonna put 4 of your songs in there today instead of picking. So definitely, if you guys do not already have Nate Smith's music in your catalog, in your playlist, especially World on Fire with the new one, you got to go do that. And Josh, before he gets into this, hit the sports sounder real fast.
Sports.
Okay, now please let us know about your sports knowledge.
Yeah, so it's very, very limited, very limited. So my whole family's big sports folks. I mean, I have my teams and stuff, and I love going to a game. I love going in person and watching a game. But man, when it comes down to who's playing this year and all that kind of stuff, you might as well be speaking a foreign language to me, man. Because I spent all those times my family would be watching the game in the living room and stuff, and I'd be in there trying to write a song or do something artsy. I'd be like, we should start a band or something. And I was just a weird kid, weird little emo kid in my bedroom with Blink-182 posters all over the wall, not knowing a thing about football. I even tried out for football. I joined the team, and during the first day of hitting, we had practice with hitting, and I got hit really hard, and I screamed and cried, and I was on the ground. I couldn't move, couldn't breathe. It was a big old joke. So I remember I eventually quit the team. I went into the office with the coach, and I was like, hey, I think I'm out of here. And he's like, all right, man, see ya. Didn't even fight for me.
Meanwhile, if you had asked most people that see me as as an adult, you know, I mean, like right now, I walk around and I think when I got up this morning, I was probably like 237. So I'm 6'4", 237. So I'm built sort of like an NFL tight end size-wise. And people are like, oh, so you played like sports in high school and in college? And I'm like, absolutely not. I was in choir and drama. I was the biggest music nerd of all time. So
yes.
Yeah.
You relate.
But I don't, because I'm now huge into sports to the point that I forced you to join our fantasy football league. And just so everyone knows, just in case you win this year, you know absolutely nothing about fantasy football.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. That's what I was saying. I was like, dude, I'm not your guy. I'm not the guy to join this team. I don't know what's going on here. I was basically forced. I said no repeatedly times, and he just kept saying, all right, man, cool, here's your login. Here's how you do it. I'm like, I don't know if he understands what no means, but that's okay.
I'm bad about taking no for an answer, especially when it comes to fantasy football, just because we always try to have, and I told you this, but I'm saying this now that it's on the podcast, and people watching and listening will have video and audio proof of this. There's always somebody every year that has no idea what they're doing. So that you are in a very comfortable group. I promise no one is going to make fun. There are people every year, even if they do know what they're doing, there's always like one person that just doesn't pay attention at all.
Which, ignorance is bliss, right? So like, I'm just cruising like, oh, cool, I got a guy from this team and that team, and he could be the worst one. You guys are all laughing, and I'm just like, I don't care, man. I'm good.
Yeah, you're golden. You're golden. Josh, what do you got?
I have one more question. This one is from your bass player, Mikey. And he said to ask you about the name.
The name. Okay, so we have all these things. Every band and artist has like inside jokes and stuff in the bus. We have a billion of them, but everything is in the name and in the blood. So he'll just be like, oh yeah, you're gonna go eat that mac and cheese in the name, or gonna eat ourselves a weed gummy in the blood.
Oh my god!
Very not okay, and everybody's killing me right now listening to this. But it's this weird joke. Everything's in the blood and in the name. I don't know why. It's kind of funny.
Amen.
In the name.
In the name.
I'm gonna win this fantasy football in the blood.
Amazing.
Well, hey, dude, seriously, I appreciate you so much for letting us attach your name to this fantasy football season, and we'll have a lot of fun with it. And
thanks for asking me.
Yeah, dude. We'll get you in studio at some point. I know you got meetings you're getting to later on this morning, so thank you again for joining us, buddy.
Yes.
Dude, love you, Chris. Love you guys. Have fun. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yes. Bye, Nate.
All right, man.
Cheers. In the blood.
In the blood.
Great guy. And again, yeah, sorry. We are, this is just like the funniest day of like tech stuff going wrong, but we're making it work, and we don't care because we're here for you guys.
I'm going to be honest. He was, I love how personable he is. You can tell just by not even meeting him, just how personable a guy he is. He is so quick to share his stories and like be vulnerable with what he's gone through. Like that's amazing. I love that.
He's a really, really talented guy, really nice guy, and that was one of the reasons that I wanted him to be a part of the Fantasy Football League this season, and also call in and just talk about his music. So again,
he's going to make the championship game. I'm calling it right now.
When Nate Smith
is going to make
when he knocks Bear out, it's going to be so funny.
Yes!
oh my god, we're gonna be so happy.
I'm gonna win.
I swear, like if this is my year where like my team falls down and I don't do well, and it gets down to like her and Nate Smith, I will make Nate Smith for president T-shirts. And
Should we just we'll just trade all of our players to Nate?
everybody.
Collusion, absolutely not.
Why would you say that now? She's the commissioner. She's going to be paying attention.
She would never approve any of them.
No. Oh man.
Rude.
Yeah, since we are in sports now, that was kind of how I set up that segue for a reason, so that we'd be able to talk with him as long as possible, because he's got meetings today, much like us. He is doing things on Labor Day, so I appreciated him joining in. Quick MLB update. Ryan, do you want to try to explain your fuzzy math to everyone?
Yeah, math is math, and that's, math is math. I don't do math. Math is not fun. It's not something we enjoy. But ladies and gentlemen,
Ryan basically he texted all of us, but he was really talking to me and Josh, I believe, that morning, and was just kind of like, oh, not such a 500 team. They were this through last month and this through this month.
We don't need to do that.
Right,
We'll
just go ahead and read it. No, I've got it right here.
Josh,
I've got it right here. I'm
Thank
happy
you.
to read it. According to Ryan Bass, since a 5-15 stretch, the Rays are 20-9 and have won 9 of the 10 series, 6 straight. Not such a 500 team after all. Chris goes, if you add those numbers together, it's 25-24. Hashtag math.
Literally the definition of a 500 team.
Yep. No. I do get that. I do get the math on that. However,
where's my jersey?
Your jersey's coming. I have 7 straight games starting on Thursday, 4 at the ballpark and 3 on the road. And so you will be getting your jersey, because that's what's going to happen. But
Perfect.
If you look at the Major League Baseball standings, your Tampa Bay Rays are 83-54, which is not 500 for the record. They are 2.5 games back of Baltimore for the top spot in the AL East, and there are 25 games left to play. We are in September. This is playoff push time. We are ready to roll. Let's go. Also, of note, I will be checking off ballpark number 15 on my list today. Going to go to the Rangers ballpark here in Arlington. So excited to see.
That's a good one.
Astros and Rangers.
What I just realized is the way Ryan talked about numbers to avoid the point. He could create his own baseball team to play against the Tampa Bay Rays.
I could create a BS baseball team, which is Bishop Sycamore baseball. But yes, Josh gave me the great idea today, since I am seeing the Astros play here in Texas, that I should start a chant on a trash can. Just start banging on a trash can.
I like it.
Astros cheated.
Never going to let them live that down.
Never.
Yikes.
Never.
See, you could be BS baseball or BS bass.
Whoa. That's
BS Bass. That has a nice ring to it.
BS
Rude.
bass.
Rude.
Yeah, I like it.
Rude.
Looping around the first week of college football, I would like to talk about the fact that, yes, you've already alluded to UCF. They are not going to be national championship talk in any way, shape, or form this year.
1-0.
Yeah, you're 1-0. That's great, Ryan.
The Big 12 did not have a good weekend, but UCF did. The Big 12 did not have a good weekend.
Actually, I want to argue that point. I'm pretty excited because Oklahoma looked fantastic. Texas, playing Rice as they should, looked fantastic.
They didn't look
They
fantastic?
pulled their starting quarterback Ewers in the third quarter, man. Like when you're pulling your quarterback that early and putting in the backup, and you see Arch Manning just warming up on the sidelines just in case, it's a wonderful feeling. And I'm very much looking forward to the showdown with Alabama next week, because Alabama, while looking fantastic and as they should, putting up 14 in each quarter for a total of 56, they played my college that I went to college at, MTSU. MTSU, they still allowed a touchdown from, which I was kind of surprised. And it's interesting to me because I wonder if both Texas and Alabama had in their brains of, we're not going to show too much because we know the most important game early on in the season is week 2 when we play each other. So I'm really hoping that my Longhorns can show out next week, and even if they do not win, make it a good showing, because Ryan, like you alluded to, very, very interesting week 1. Pac-12, I believe, was did
they're
not
13-0,
lose.
14-0,
Yeah,
12-0,
12-0.
No, I think they're 13-0 now after yesterday.
Well, after yesterday, yes, but in that first Saturday, they were 12-0, which is just wild. Florida State coming in and really not only just keeping it close throughout the game, but then kind of laying it on to LSU at the end of that game. I was pretty shocked by. Big shout out to LSU not being able to throw for more than one touchdown, which ruined one of my parlays this weekend. Thanks a lot. Had the incredible run up to it. It was the only leg that I needed. It was the final leg, as I needed them to throw for 2 touchdowns. That's all I needed. I needed 2 passing touchdowns at LSU, and they couldn't get it done. So LSU fans out there, I hate that you lost, but I also am kind of like, yeah, you deserved it for not being able to throw 2 touchdowns. USC was obscene. Baylor lost to I don't even know who. They were playing basically. Do you even know who they were playing?
Yeah, they lost to Texas State.
Look at FCS team. They lost to them.
Well, no, I believe they are an FBS team now. Texas State.
Okay, so they are. Sorry, Texas State.
I do believe that.
Wasn't trying to talk crap,
but their motto is "Take Texas Back." So you be careful there, man.
Where is Texas State University?
Okay, whatever.
Where is Texas State?
Never mind. Maybe I do mean to talk crap.
It is in San Marcos, Texas.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm just kind of rifling through all of these.
Forget about Colorado, baby. The big Deion Sanders debut.
Well, yeah, and obviously I was going to get to that. I think it's very intriguing because they went from being listed as a major underdog against Nebraska to, I think it went to a pick'em over the course of one day. They may be favored now, but it was.
I'm taking Nebraska all day on that one.
Pretty wild. Really? I wouldn't. Nebraska's not very good, man.
Matt Rule era, we'll see. It got off to a rough start, but I think there's way too much hype on Colorado. Yes, they beat the runner-up in the playoff last year, but I think there's too much hype on Colorado.
Are you saying this with a straight face after talking about UCF being 1-0,
being 1-0 over Kent State?
Ryan,
UCF and Oklahoma are on a collision course for the Big 12 title game right now. I am
angry with you right now. This is the first time I've ever actually. This is not hyperbole. This is not me picking on Ryan. You're being ridiculous. You think that? Against TCU
is not the same team from last year. TCU lost their Heisman Trophy quarterback.
I'm sorry,
in Max Duggan.
Shadur Sanders, 38 for 47, 510 yards, 4 tutties. Third QB in the past 25 seasons with an 80% completion percentage, 500 passing yards, and 4 TDs versus a Power 5 opponent who was ranked in the top 25.
Travis Hunter is great. Travis Hunter was playing receiver and cornerback in that game. Not buying it. I'm not sold on Colorado.
But you're sold on UCF over Kent State.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
I am. Big showdown with Boise State this weekend on the blue turf.
Why?
I'm embarrassed for the Rays that your name is attached to.
Whoa! That is rude.
Yeah.
That is rude.
I'm that upset at you right now. You take it back. You give them their flowers. No one expected that out of Colorado.
I would love for
no
that
one
freeze.
expected that. I would love for it. Just screenshot that right there, Marcel. That's what I want a screenshot of.
On a
Every
t-shirt.
single
On a
time
t-shirt.
UCF loses, I'm going to put that on a T-shirt and just
like
wear it.
Tiny sombrero on right now.
It does.
That is perfect. I am making that. Thank you for the idea. I'm making that into a jersey. That is going to be my college football jersey when one of your teams gets upset, Ryan.
The BS Basses.
The BS Bass. That is going to be the BS Bass jersey. Oh my God!
Wait a minute.
I'm sorry
Wait
for
a minute.
everybody that I
Before we
just
do this,
yelled
before
into
we
the
do this.
microphone. No, we did
Before
not.
we do
Before
this.
we do this, you did
I
this to
wanna look at-
yourself
I
by
want you-
talking
I
crap about a team that no one expected to win against TCU.
Wait a minute.
No one bet on them.
Pause. Let me show you what Colorado has coming up on their schedule, and you tell me whether this is going to be a team that at all is in contention.
They have
Nebraska's
already
next.
succeeded. They've already succeeded. He broke 4 records for the
In
Colorado
3 weeks, they're
football
going to
team.
play number 15 Oregon. They're going to play USC, then Arizona State. They've got Oregon State on the schedule. Utah,
Oregon
who
State
boat
looked
raced
like,
Florida.
Oregon State looked like crap.
Speaking of collision courses,
Utah boat raced Florida at home.
UCF
Utah at home is much better than people give them credit for.
UCF still has to play number 16 Kansas State, Kansas, Baylor, Oklahoma, West Virginia, Cincinnati, Texas Tech, Houston, Oklahoma State.
Big 12 champs.
I'm just over here that my teams always suck.
And
Yeah, Florida's terrible.
Florida's going to Florida.
Okay, how about this, Ryan? Since evidently you and I know how to live up to our bets. with
You
one
guys
another.
still have not lived up to.
We're gonna have to do
We're gonna
that.
have
at
to
some
do that
point.
one. Yeah, we have to do that soon.
We have to do it.
We need a pot after dark with all of the things
God,
that we
I really
haven't
don't,
done.
I really
yet.
don't want to
I
drink
really
that
don't want to
six-pack.
do it, but we're gonna do it.
We agreed. We settled
we
with
did-
the creditors that
we
it's
did.
one 6-pack split between the two of us.
Yes, we
Correct.
did. We
All right.
did. Sweet.
Y'all decided that.
We spoke
know
with
what?
the creditors.
Yeah, there were no creditors. That's fraud.
It's
You're
Labor
Roy
Day.
Johnsoning this right now.
It's Labor Day and it's leg day at the gym. Maybe we have to get this done today.
No.
I don't know, man.
Absolutely not.
I don't know. We
Three
gotta
each.
we
Video
gotta do it.
evidence.
We got to do it. We got to do it. We got to do it. All right.
What is Ryan?
Listen,
wait,
Ryan. Here's what I'm saying. Colorado has already won, even if they don't go 500 for the rest of their season.
like the Tampa Bay Rays. We started 13-0 and have been a 500 team ever since.
They were not supposed to be close with TCU. They were definitely not supposed to win. Everybody was like, yeah, he did it at a small school, but Deion Sanders is all talk. He's just hyping up a program. What's going to happen if he fails at Colorado? Does he have a lot of work left ahead of him? Yes. What was the very first step? Looking good at all against
Winning one game. Winning one game.
Yeah.
They won one game. They've won one game.
Against a ranked Power 5 conference team.
It's a more impressive win than UCF over Kent State, my guy.
Yeah, and you're 1-0. Psh.
That is a huge win. For them to start the season that way, for him to overhaul the team the way he did, for no one to have any expectation of him succeeding, and then them to set records for the team, the history of the team, the history of Colorado.
Overrated.
Just throw the.
Okay. So
I won't do that to the
also, I would like
judge.
to apologize to the Oregon Duck for them doing that to you, for running up the score to 81.
How many push-ups was it again? How many push-ups did the Duck have to do?
It was like 250 or something like that. It was obnoxious. For those of you who don't know, every time Oregon scores, the Duck mascot has to do.
I'm going to show you how easy this is.
Push-ups.
I'm going to do 250 right now through the end of the podcast.
No, you're.
Bye, Ryan.
Yeah.
What's
Okay,
what's
here
the
we-
over-under
here
on
we-
how many he does? One.
There's no way he gets to 250 without stopping. There's no way.
Come on, continue the podcast. I'm at 7.
I just kind of want to
Ten.
watch
Made it to
this.
10.
11, 12. He's slowing down. 13.
13. It's getting laborious.
14,
Did I
15,
make it to 30?
16, 17,
I think 26.
18.
So the Duck gets
Oh
a
my
break
God,
in
that's
between,
18.
doesn't
no,
he?
No, he does not. 19, 20. Come on, Ryan.
Okay.
Ryan.
So the Duck gets a
Oh my
break.
God, Ryan, you didn't even do 25.
Ryan, I could beat you in push-ups.
Ryan, no, he already stopped. I'm not.
Three,
Lord.
4,
Yeah, I can do
25.
250 with breaks. I did
There
it
it is.
yesterday before a show on the bus.
I got 225 more. I'm good.
Sweet Jesus, Ryan.
That's not a breath.
do we need
This is Labor Day. I'm laboring the most.
That is the biggest, you did 25.
need medical attention, my guy? Are you all right?
Yeah, I need help.
Man. All right. Anyway,
Room service.
Shout out to that poor mascot. Whoever's in that suit, you are a champion, my friend.
Do you think they switched halfway through, like someone else put the suit on? The
Man,
backup?
I don't even care.
Do they have backups for mascots?
I don't even care if you were doing the kind of push-ups from your knees. It's like, I mean, that's a lot of push-ups.
It is.
Yeah, I can attest to that. That's a lot of push-ups.
Okay. Very, very excited about the NFL. If you can't tell, check the hat. I am saying this, and I know it will come back to haunt me. I've never done this, and you guys have never heard me say this, not one time ever. This is the year. Cowboys are going deep.
Don't
do
that to yourself.
I'm doing
Don't
it.
do that to
I'm
yourself.
doing it. They're going, man. They're going deep.
How deep?
Is there a dirty joke coming from this?
No. I'm just saying everybody always talks about, they have
The D is going deep.
less than 5 playoff wins in however many years, and they talk about the fact that they haven't won the division in consecutive years, and they haven't gone really, really far in the playoffs in a very long time, and that the 90s were their heyday, and since the triplets and the era of them, it's just been a mess in Dallas. And I believe in this team this year. I think they're going to be special. I think people are sleeping on them because they expect them to not be very good, because Prescott had a bad year interception-wise last year. They think that he's falling off somehow, even though 2 years ago they were talking about how many yards he threw for, and that if only they had a great defense. And now they have a spectacular defense. Everyone forgets that Gilmore is on a 1-year deal and that he's got to play up to get that big contract that he wants, because he's got one more big contract left in him. That's why he's playing a 1-year deal. He has to play well this year. He's going to be on the other side of Diggs. Diggs is amazing. They were actively going away from him all last season when people were throwing against them. Micah Parsons on track to be a beast this year. He's not going to have to swap positions every game. That linebacking core is insane. The safety position is covered up. We are going to be a dangerous team on both sides of the ball for anyone. And yeah, I said we, acting like a homer. I'm wearing the Cowboys hat. I get it. I get it. Stephen A. Smith would be throwing up right now if he was having to talk to me.
You going to suit up? It's tight end? Let's go. Let's go, Chris.
Yeah. You know that when Nate was talking about getting hit, but I work out with some of those guys. I see the amount of weight that they're putting up. There ain't a chance in hell. I am in, arguably right now, and again, I know people have seen the articles, never really talked about it much on here, but I've been living in the gym and eating right and dropped 62, 63 pounds so far. I don't care. Those guys do that for a living.
Can't teach tall.
That is true.
Very true statement.
That is true. And I got hands.
Got hands.
There is video somewhere of me on a parade float with somebody winging me a football out of the crowd on camera at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. And I snatched it. I snatched it out of the air, all hands.
Hands for Christmas.
Hands. You get hands for Christmas. I'm going to show you guys that video when we get done. Nobody has any idea what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm calling it. Cowboys are going to be really, really good this year.
How deep?
Put your money where your mouth is. Put your money where your mouth is.
NFC Championship game?
Yeah.
At least that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all right. The Bears are going to win it all.
With MVP Justin Fields, according to Ryan.
You make that bet right now if you really believe
you
that.
and Ryan both
you
can
go make that. Oh my god!
If Fields is going to win MVP, they're definitely going to make the Super Bowl. So go for it, you two.
You know how much sarcasm is in my
Plus
voice.
15
right?
million. Yeah.
I will take any amount of odds right now. You tell me a number,
God.
I will take it.
Notice Ryan is suspiciously quiet about his team right now.
He put $25 on 4-1 odds for Justin Fields. He might as well just hand me the cash right now.
Oh,
I think my team is going to win the AFC East.
Wrong.
What?
I think the Miami Dolphins win the AFC East.
what?
I think the Miami Dolphins win the AFC East this year.
Just real quick, who's your backup quarterback? Because you're probably going to see a lot of. Is it Skylar Thompson still?
It's still Skylar Thompson, yeah.
Yeah, I can't. The Skylar Thompson era has started.
I would be willing to bet that we get picks because we have to trade you Trey Lance before the end of the season.
Yeah.
Before I would bet that you win your division.
Dolphins are winning the division.
Let me put it this way: as much as we're joking about me playing tight end in the NFL at 38 years old,
you could play for Bishop Sycamore.
No. Dude, I'm telling you, there's a guy right now that is a free agent that trains alongside a bunch of the people that go where I work out. That guy, on his worst day, playing his Michael Jordan flu game would make me look like a moron on a football field. People do not realize the level of hard work that goes into these guys being half as good as they are.
Hell, you think Chris is tall? They're even taller than Chris.
Yeah.
They
Most
were standing
NFL
next
tight
to each
ends
other,
are
and I
like.
looked at them. I was like, "Wait, you're that tall too?"
Yeah.
Jeez.
Kyle Pitts is 6'6".
Yeah.
No one cares because he's not.
Well,
gonna be good.
he's the only. It's like him and London are the only people that can catch a pass on that team.
Yeah.
I have a second bold prediction about the AFC East.
Go ahead.
The Jets missed the playoffs.
I could. You know what? I mean, I think their thing is they have a really high ceiling and a really low floor.
But they have a hard schedule this year, fourth hardest.
That's really hard.
That's my
really
thing.
hard schedule.
They're either going to be like, okay, as much as I just talked up my team, have you seen the Cowboys' first 4 games? Bring up their schedule.
They play the Eagles in that stretch.
Just bring up their.
Yeah. They play the Giants, the Jets, the Cardinals, and then the Patriots.
So they very easily could be 4-0 or 1-3.
Well, I think they're going to beat the Giants. They're definitely going to beat the Cardinals
you say that,
and
but
Patriots.
again, in the NFC East every year, what have everybody been talking about is that the Giants are going to be better this year. They're going to take a step forward. So you have to worry about them. You have to worry about the Eagles. Then if you write off Washington, who's got this influx of like energy in the front office because of the sale of the team, they might sneak a couple wins by if it ends up being against your team in that division. And then you have to play Bill Belichick, who's always a wild card, and the Jets. If the Jets end up being amazing behind Aaron Rodgers, really quickly that schedule can turn around and you could be like, the only win we've got is hopefully against the Cardinals. What if you lay down against them because you win those other games? It's get very interesting, and everybody can look at their schedule like that.
The sad part is the Bears actually have a chance to go 3-1 in their schedule.
We have breaking news. Mike White has been named the Dolphins' backup quarterback.
Ooh, White Lotus.
There you go.
White Lotus, Jets legend.
Yeah,
just letting you know.
So the Bears literally play the Packers game 1, the Bucks game 2, the Chiefs game 3, and the Broncos game 4. So we have a chance to go 3-1 in our first 4 games.
And Fields is winning the MVP.
Wow. That is good. That is very interesting. Read this out. This is great.
So a couple weeks ago, I picked the Saints. I put all of my bets in on the Saints for this year. Here are the quarterbacks the Saints will face in 2023. Ryan Tannehill, Bryce Young, Jordan Love, Baker Mayfield, Mac Jones, C.J. Stroud, Trevor Lawrence, Anthony Richardson, Justin Fields, Kirk Cousins, Desmond Ridder, Jared Goff, Daniel Jones, and Matt Stafford.
Oh, wow.
That is none of the top
high
tier.
ranking.
Okay, now let me also throw something out there. Trevor Lawrence is really good.
He's good. The rest are either second year or rookie quarterbacks for the most part.
Jones, Goff, and Stafford are supposed to be much better this year. Outside of that,
when you say
even Panthers fans, I was talking to some of them about Bryce Young yesterday, and they're like, they have shirts with his name on them. And they were still like, I was like, what are you doing? They're like, I mean, we're being honest. Like, he could be okay.
The Saints play 13 of their 17 games inside of a dome, which is great for them. Chris Olave should have a monster year. Derek Carr's looking great.
Okay, it's unproven quantities.
Olave had the most targets on the team just with bad quarterback. He had Andy Dalton still throwing the ball.
You know who might be fantastic this year that no one brings up except me is another reason why I'm talking about my team. Cooks.
Yeah, he's had 1,000-yard receiving seasons for the last 7 years.
Dak can throw a deep ball, man.
With bad quarterbacks the last 7 years for the most part.
Dak can throw a great deep ball. He loves to do that. He's finally got a guy that can take the top off the defense. The last time he had that was 3 years ago with Amari Cooper when he wasn't hurt.
Cook should have some open looks.
When you say you're all in, when you put all your money on the Saints, are you saying like to win the Super Bowl?
No.
Okay.
He's saying their division.
They're going to win their division,
Easily.
and I tied them to basically every bet I made this year, except for the Cardinals being the worst team. In the NFL.
Yeah, bet the Saints, fade the Cardinals.
You do it all year long, you probably do okay. You'll do okay with some money. We are not betting. What's Ryan? Can you look up the number? Real quick?
Yeah, read.
We are not responsible for your money, and please bet responsibly.
Yes.
And
please bet responsibly. But just like every other sports related thing now, everybody's giving you their picks. Like ESPN's doing it, everyone's doing it. But we do say if you have a gambling problem, definitely seek out help. We are not trying to.
Yeah, call the number 1-800-522-4700.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, Rye.
Also, it seems as though the Arizona Cardinals will be sitting Kyler Murray the entire year.
Yeah. So do we just bet every week?
Yes.
That the as a parlay, that the Cardinals lose and the Saints win?
Yes.
Every week.
I'm gonna do it right now. I'm doing it right now.
Nothing about gambling.
I'm doing it right now.
I literally.
Are you preemptively doing it for the whole year?
I'm in a fantasy pool, and I'm gonna always basically pick the team against the Cardinals.
Didn't you pick Washington?
So my very first week 1 win is going to be the Washington Commanders.
I just picked up their defense for fantasy for this
week. That's very smart. Very smart.
We're gonna do the quickest hot take of all time. So go.
Hot take!
Sorry, we had a guest. We got excited. Me and Ryan went back and forth.
I didn't hit record on the first part of the podcast.
Yeah.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
You know what? This is just a fun podcast for you guys on Labor Day. Hopefully you get to enjoy it, and hopefully we can put it together before the end of the day. But speaking of Colorado and how good they were, Ryan, I decided that we've done a lot of like the best college football game of all time, but we've never really done the biggest week 1 college upset.
Oh wait, you
didn't say week 1.
You didn't say week 1. You just said the biggest college upset.
I know, but I am picking a week 1. So we're just going the biggest college upset of all time. I am picking week 1 because I'm going back to a time when Michigan was just always a powerhouse.
Wait a minute.
And they decided
the Fighting Luke Combs?
They were going to take on a team called Appalachian State.
No, look at my phone right. Oh, shoot.
They were going to take on a team called Appalachian State just for a little week 1 tune-up. And it did not go at all as planned. And that to me, still, the fact that you pulled that up and that was going to be your pick says all I need to say.
They paid
in fact,
for them to
you know
come
what?
play.
They paid to get their own butts kicked on national television week 1. And it was the most mind-boggling, crazy upset I have ever seen and that I remember. Just going, wow, not in a million years would I have picked them to win that game. And they did, and it was just absolute insanity.
They got a field goal in the last 26 seconds.
Insanity. So to me, that is always going to be my biggest one. And you know what, Bear? There's room on this bandwagon. You and I can share a pick this week.
I literally had it pulled up on my phone. He cheated. He saw my phone.
I did not. I knew this when I started thinking about that as the idea for the hot take this week. Josh, what you got?
The 2014 ESPY Awards named this the best play and the best game of the year in all of North American sports. It was the most watched regular season of the 2013 college football season.
Alabama-Auburn.
Alabama-Auburn.
And Auburn
The kick
won.
6.
Was that an upset, though? Was that considered an upset?
Technically, it was an upset.
It's more the upset because Saban
I don't think it's
challenged
the
the time-
biggest upset. I think it's the best game of that season. I don't think it's the biggest upset.
It's a huge
all
upset.
time. I don't think it's
All right,
it's as
all right.
big
Then,
as
then
as
I'll
Appalachian State.
pivot. I'll pivot. Then that's fine. That's fine.
Whoa,
No, it's okay. I'll pivot if that's fine. You're not under. That's okay. Tennessee beating Alabama last season.
He's just going for the Tennessee fans.
Yeah, that's fine. Tennessee beating Alabama and tearing down the goalpost and throwing it in the river
Oh my God. Okay.
last year.
I don't think anybody's going to touch our pick.
trying to write these all
pick.
down
Bears
very
just jumping
quickly.
on the bandwagon. It's fine.
That was my pick.
Bear, is that your pick, or are you going with a different one?
No,
That's hers.
that was my pick. It was literally on my phone, and I think he saw it and went for that one instead.
No, I didn't even have to.
Can I
look
choose
it up.
Colorado beating TCU?
What if Ryan picked that just to be
That'd be
contrarian?
amazing.
All right, go ahead.
That
Ryan.
would be. But mine comes from 2007, and it's a game that many of us may forget as one of the biggest upsets of all time. However, the Stanford Cardinal were 41-point underdogs to then number 2 USC. The Trojans had not lost at home since 2001. They had not lost at home in 6 years. And yet Stanford 24, number 2 USC 23. That was on October 6th of 2027 or 2007. Excuse me. 2027 has not happened yet. So it was in 2007. The Cardinal had gone 1-10 the year prior, and yet they come into the Rose Bowl and knock off USC in a stunner. It's a great one. The quarterback for that Cardinal program, you know who it was?
No,
you know who the
but you're
head
about
coach
to tell
was?
us.
The head coach was Jim Harbaugh, who had led that Stanford Cardinal program back in that day.
Who's
John David Booty.
Ah,
You're saying who?
Remember the name John David Booty?
I sure do.
John David Booty was USC's quarterback. John David Booty, for the record. One of the best all-time names in college football history.
Is it? We have a lot of really great names
I
now
know
in
they're
football.
all coming. They're all coming forth with good names.
This is just.
There is General Booty, too.
No. I didn't we run down the list last week? Did
No.
I do this?
No, we didn't do it on the podcast.
Oh my God! I wonder what I was talking on that I did this entire list, because there are some spectacular names in college football. this
General
year.
Booty, the tight end from Oklahoma. Kool-Aid McKinstry, cornerback for Alabama.
Oh,
we did do
wait!
this.
Before, yeah, we did this. I talked about this last week. There's no way I didn't, because I remember, because there's one that's Mobility, is the guy's
I
name.
don't think we talked about this.
I don't think we did.
His name is Mobility.
Mobility. There's DeColdest Crawford from
who is-
Nebraska.
who, by the way, has already done ads for a heating and air company.
Yep. There's
Oh, that's great.
There's Storm Duck. There's Shitta Silla. That's his name. That's not cursing. Booby Curry, Fat Watts, Major Burns, Squirrel White. That's a wide receiver for Tennessee.
Yep.
Juice Wells, Fish Williams,
Oh, go all the way down.
Cavassier Smoke, Steel
that's a
Chambers.
good one.
Is this an
No,
episode of
there's-
that?
People have made the joke that it's the East versus West game from Key and Peele skit.
Tiger
come to life.
Shanks, Demon Clowney.
But the last one, go all the way down.
Is it the guy from?
He's a lineman.
I think it's a different
There it
list.
is.
Rowdy Beers,
No.
tight end for FIU,
No,
Florida
there's
Internet.
another one.
Nope, I'm out. That's it.
Oh man,
I know the list you're thinking of because I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that one.
All right, so the 3 games this week that the poll will be on.
I mean, we already know who's going to win here.
It is App State and Michigan from 2000 and was that 07 too? That was a
Yeah,
big
that
year
was
for
07.
upsets. It's a big year for upsets. So App State over Michigan in 07, Tennessee over Bama last year in 2022, and Stanford over USC in 2007.
Recency bias.
Oh, Pig Cage is a good one.
Big Cage.
But it's still, man, this is not the list that I was wondering, because there's one offensive lineman who made the list, and I can't find him. Dang it. I'm not going to find it. I'm just wasting time. All right. Thank you guys, as always, for listening to the podcast. This is The Quad with Chris Young. As always, I'm Chris, from Haley, Ryan, Josh, and myself. We appreciate you guys.
Sorry.
Enjoy your Labor Day.